Hey, and welcome to The Creative Agent. Today we are talking to James Bennett, who is the principal of Bell Property Lane Cove, and we chat about his authentic and unique approach to real estate marketing. Mate, I want to ask you first off, how important do you think it is for agents to have a personal brand, personal marketing?
Obviously, we're sitting here to talk about that. That's important, so it's very important. If you don't have a personal brand, when you sit in front of a client, it's going to be very hard for them to differentiate you from the competitors. I think the thing that's been really obvious the last 10 years is that real estate agents are heavily trained now. There isn't like this one super agent per area. There's now like 3 or 4 super agents that got all the dialogues, all the scripts, all the strategies, all the techniques, and so they're sitting in the living room and they actually sort of, I think at one point I'd probably be saying the same things as other people. So your personality and your personal brand is the only thing that you can distinguish yourself from them, and I think there are different ways to do that, and I think if videos and humour is your thing, then that's what you got to go for. If being really, really cool and dressing really well is your thing, then that's fine too. Some people will go for that. So it's just finding out who the people you connect with, why they connect with you, and making sure that comes out in your branding. Awesome. I hope that answers the question.
Yeah, no, definitely. And I think I wasn't trying to set you up necessarily, because I think you've got this great perspective where, your office, your agency, one of the top Bell agencies, you guys are crushing it in terms of results and figures there. We'll talk about the way you construct your personal brand, but your business partner, Simon,
totally different.
Your number one principal, totally different. Like, doesn't have an Instagram account, doesn't want to really do a lot of personal branding. How do you see his approach to it versus yours?
Well, his approach has always been, and his style is always really, he's the consummate professional, very consistent, and he maintains that, that's what a lot of people go to him because they go, they're going to get the most reliable person in the area. He also has 20 years of history behind him, so he's already attraction based on that track record of being solid, good deliverer of information, so he doesn't like Instagram as much, and there's probably arguments for that Instagram is a bit of a weird media outlet at the moment where there's a lot of crap on there and people are just putting out so much content and it's content. So and that's not him. He's there to do the work, get the results. So that's why he's not on it, I don't think. But he does do videos still. He still presents properties. He speaks well, so that comes across.
And I guess a lot of that personal brand is sort of like word of mouth and just real brand of conversation, right?
Yeah, he's got 20 years of history there for that, and that's didn't happen overnight,
So what made you kind of go, you know what, I'm going to go a different way and be me?
I don't know. I'm always like that. When I'm with clients, I just get I sort of came up with Simon. Simon, was my mentor, and went all my, first 200, 300 presentations I went to were with him, and I watch his style. And so I tried to be that. And I'm very good at getting the dialogue right, but I just catch myself, I'd just make jokes, I'd get the client on side, we'd be laughing, and I'd get off script and I'd lose my way. So I kind of realised that I can do the script that way, but my personality was what would win me rapport with the client. It wasn't my delivery as much as it was the way that I hopefully made them feel, and obviously they could see that I was passionate, but also that I'd have a good time.
Great.
Again, I've found I've got to be careful, and I don't think it's all about being an idiot. It's not about being a clown. It's just that if you've got humour in your personality, they need to see that. Otherwise, again, you're just a robot. You're just the trained dialogue. And I was doing videos, and I was doing them quite seriously. I think obviously the last decade, the property videos have come out. Lots of people do them very serious, and there was a lot ones that were really wordy, and them describing the entire property. Fucking boring. And then and I was doing those, and I remember the first few videos with you guys that I did, and a few of the videographers, and I'd be standing there doing it, and as soon as we'd stop the script, I'd go, God, I hate doing this. I hate this. This is killing me. It's just so contrived. It's like, welcome to yet another amazing family home. And guess what? It's got good indoor-outdoor flow. Would you believe it? And every time, you're saying the same thing over and over and over and over. And so I just got really bored, and I started lacking motivation turning up to those shoots. And I had so many ideas in my head, and when I film myself on my own Instagram stuff, I'm usually taking the piss. I'm not trying to look good. So that's that transition probably in the last couple of years, and now I start making funny videos, and I get a lot of good feedback about it, and people are like, so refreshing and nice and all that stuff. But again, it's also not about everyone going, oh, I need to be funny, or I need to be that on camera. It might not be camera, it might not be video. There might be another way you can personalize your brand. You might be really good in the community and really good at networking, or whatever it is. It's not going to be film for everyone, but they can use film and use this stuff to generate their personality and their branding.
Yeah, I think I see a lot of agents that, you're right, almost the same pattern where they kind of start emulating an agent that they aspire to. Pick up particular traits and nuances and kind of try and copy that exactly. But I think there is a point where, you know, like yourself, it didn't feel congruent with who you were. So how do you bring some of that authenticity back into it, right? And I love that you said like the little selfie video thing. Like, it's a cool little gateway. And practice, because I think a lot of guys are scared to kind of do that, right?
Yeah, I mean, you'll never see me do and this, again, doesn't mean that people are doing this, because there'll be people watching this going, oh, I do that. That's not that I think it's a bad thing. Some people are really good at just talking about what they're doing that day, and, you know, the Gary V, like, you know, tell everyone what you're doing all day. But if you ever see me take a selfie and talk in it, I'm never going to say something serious. Like, never. I'm never going to be like, hey guys, just want to let you know about my day. Well, I sold 3 properties and you all really care. Like, no one cares. I mean, again, people do that and that's fine. You might be able to deliver it with more. I can't take that seriously. I'd rather say something funny to soften what I'm trying. That I'm still putting out there that I sold something today, but I try to make it, you know.
How much of what you do with the videos is a bit of a piss take of the industry? Like, is there some sort of like...
Little bit.
Like you to kind of...
Yeah, this is a little bit of that. I mean, more so to just put it out there that, you know, people need to take themselves less seriously. And you know, I think putting it out there that, you know, you make heaps of money and you look amazing and you sell the best properties and you know, again, it works at some level, and clearly there's some very successful people doing it that are doing really, really well. What I would say is, like you said, you have people trying to emulate that, and there are only 1 or 2 people that can do it well.
Absolutely.
And that there's 1 or 2 that are doing that well. And we all sit here and go, oh, you know, and I do it, but I can't do that. I can't maintain that persona, and other people can't either, but they try to, and they look stupid. They're doing it, and it might not work for them. They need to be their own personality. Otherwise, again, you just become a robot. I think our market's a bit more conservative on the north too. So I think we don't have as much of that on in your face, on camera agents. I don't have many in my marketplace that would compete with me on that niche. I don't have anyone else doing James Bennett videos. Good luck to them if they try.
I don't think your demographic would resonate with that, right?
No. Well, I was worried about the demographic not resonating with what I'm doing, but like, you know, I've got some, and I shouldn't say their age, but like, they won't know. You know, they're in their early 60s. And they're not on Instagram. And I did that video last week that we did, and I swung a toy cat around the kitchen, and it's ridiculous. And we lost some of the footage, and it didn't come out quite the way I wanted, and that shit happens. But that wasn't a video that was like one of our best. And the owner said to me, "Oh, did you have any people from the RSPCA at your open today about another property?" And I was like, "What do you mean?" They go, "Well, you're swinging that cat in the kitchen." And I was like, "Oh yeah, sorry about that." And I'm thinking, "Oh God!" And they've got a $3.5 million house, and I was like, "Oh yeah, that video. That was a weird video." She goes, "Oh, I thought it was awesome. It was so funny. Like, I was great." Like, and I was like, "Oh." No, thank God. But like, you know, sometimes you think the conservative client, the older client's going to go, "Oh, this stuff's."
I always wonder that. Do you sit in a listing presentation and go like, "This is
probably
this
not
is
the
me,
list,
this is my
not
style?"
necessarily in the listing presentation, because I don't know if it's going to hit or not. What I normally do is get the listing first, go into robot mode, a few jokes, but once I've got them on, then I usually go, "Hey, by the way, I do a few videos that are a little bit outside the box. I can still do the boring professional one, but I could also do something fun with yours that makes it a bit more fun to watch." And then I usually show them a couple, and if they're watching it like this and the funny joke goes past and they go, I go, "Yeah, we'll do a serious one. That's not going to go. That's not going to fly."
Yeah, I love that. What's been your favourite one? Because we've had a few, right? Like flying around.
The last one we did, not the cat one, but a cat one I thought could have been good. but we lost the footage. But
probably karma.
The hair salon one was pretty funny. That's got I think that's that and the COVID one had the best response. But that I think that wrap
like
up.
the sausages one with the apron.
Yeah, no, I mean,
there's a bit of nakedness to it.
That one's got a lot of cheap likes and because we look totally total idiots. But I didn't love that one as much. I didn't think it had. No, I liked it. I shouldn't say I didn't like it. That was a great video, and the owner had a great time doing it. It didn't. I like them when they're a bit funny. Like they got a good catch. There's a good little timing to it. That one was.
I agree.
Baxter in an apron and underwear, and me in the same.
Do you feel like it gets better results? Do you think there is more exposure, or are we just kind of doing it because it's fun at this stage?
It probably started as just being more fun, and also initially we were doing them where I'd still do the serious video and then do an Instagram one that was funny. And then when the reactions started coming in from the funny ones, we then put the COVID one up, and we did the other ones on the actual domain of realestate.com, and buyers were coming in and going, oh, that was hilarious, like that was great. And when buyers started saying, oh, that was really, really good, that was when I was like, oh, I'm just going to do them properly. That's
so interesting, because I always see like, the other thing I kind of try and not warn people about, but a lot of guys that want to do their social media at the moment for real estate agents, they're kind of doing it for just other real estate agents to look at, right? And their peers. And
there's probably elements of that from my perspective that, I don't have a huge following, right? So you could talk to your Dan Lees and the others, Gavins and things like that, where they've got big followings. And if they did a video like mine and put it out there, it'd go nuts. I don't have that following, but I don't sponsor. I'm not at the point where I'm sponsoring ads and things like that. It's probably just as effective for recruitment and agents seeing that side, the recruitment side of it. Because I get agents messaging me going, mate, that video is great. But the thing is, I know that if they are speaking to a client and outside brands will refer to me, they'll say, hey man, like I've seen your videos and I've got a client in your area and I was going to refer you. That's happened 3 or 4 times in the last 6 months, and I've gone, oh, great.
So that's really what marketing is, right? It's controlling that conversation when people do bring up a name or a thing like that there.
But I think the Instagram, sorry to cut you off, the Instagram is, I think, personal for the agent. It's not for selling the property. Buyers aren't on Instagram scrolling Instagram for property purchases.
Good point.
That's more for my personal branding. My friends and network know what I do. They know what I bring to the table. They know how I do it, what my personality is. And locals will start to follow it, and that's fine. That gives you brand awareness. But it's not for buyers. The domain of realestate.com is where the video goes for buyers. And if they even watch videos, and I'm convinced that 50% or more don't watch videos, but the ones that do, that like the property, will watch it. And at least if they have something they can flick around, if they see something funny, they'll be more inclined to flick it, rather than just watch the same video I've watched a million times.
Absolutely. No, I think, because I've struggled with it a little bit as well. We're 5 years as a video company for real estate, and I'm not still 100% convinced that, it makes these dramatic results or how exactly people use it. I think there's a lot of it where, a person will maybe see the property and then flick the video to someone else if they've been there or want to sort of check it out. But do you get any negative feedback from the videos?
I haven't had any yet. I know that, like I keep mentioning that Dan Lee, because he's in Queensland, and I think he goes even way further than I do, because he's in the video the whole time. And he's just and he's got a lot of content, and he's very, very good on Instagram. Like I would do a selfie once a week. He would do 7 a day, and there's a lot of content there. So he's got a big following. I know he gets some negative feedback, but he just loves that. He just gives it straight back, and I think it would be like 2% of people that would have negative feedback for him, or 1%. I haven't had any yet. That I know of. No one said it to me. No one's like, your videos suck, and I haven't heard that yet. But I'm sure somebody hates them, and then that's fine. And I'd love them to tell me that they hate them so I can reply. But that doesn't bother me at all. The worst thing I would have is if and touch wood, this doesn't happen, but if someone said, oh, we were going to go with you, but your videos and stuff were a bit too out there, and we have a prestige property and we wouldn't, that would probably make me second guess it. For a second, then I'd just go back to doing it. If I lost a big prestige listing, that would hurt. If it was for that reason, but I did that one that we did. We didn't end up using it because I chickened out. But the 6 and a bit miller, we did a funny video and we didn't use it. But we did the pool bit, and the owner liked the pool bit, so she might have been alright with it.
I guess if that was the case, your personality probably would have matched.
Wouldn't have matched them
style
anyway. Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
so you spoke about Dan in Queensland. That feels like that's a really purposeful strategy.
Yeah.
Right,
Yeah.
for his brand. And I think I know the answer to this, seeing as we come up with the stuff on the drive to the
How
video.
do we come up with this stuff?
How do you come up with it? But is this brand a purposeful thing, or is it just kind of like evolving and moving how you feel?
It's still evolving. I think coming up with the ideas is starting to get really hard.
Yeah.
I'm like starting to really, like today I really struggled. I was in a 4-degree swimming pool in the middle of winter, and I was standing in the pool going, this might not be funny at all. This could be horrendous. And now I've just wasted, I've completely wasted the whole day. And what have I done? But yeah, it's evolving in that. Yeah, at some point I think like, is there going to be a time where I stop doing funny videos because I can't think of stuff anymore and it's just getting too ridiculous? But I don't think so, because I think I can make them short, funny bits.
Yeah.
I've got like ideas swimming around my head. Yeah. I have found that I've been able to get funnier outcomes with Baxter involved than me on my own.
Man. Yeah.
And either that's me, having a laugh at his expense.
Yeah.
I'm sure we'll turn the tables and the laugh will be at my expense. But I think having that dynamic helps with coming up with ideas. But yeah, it does get a bit hard to think of funny things to do, particularly if the property doesn't have something you can make fun of that doesn't make fun of the house. Yeah. If it has a pool table, all right, you can do something with the pool. If it has a swimming pool, you can do something with that.
It makes you look.
But if it doesn't have anything, if it's just a stock house, it gets really hard to come up with ideas, and then you've got to go outside the box.
Okay. Awesome.
How do I come up with them? I stress at home and don't get to bed till 1 a.m. the night before, and then I wake up with no ideas still, and then half an hour before it comes to me, I'm driving there going, oh, there it is.
Or we see offensive memes and go, we're going to copy that.
Yeah.
How do you see, I guess, the next sort of, I know it's really hard with everything going on, but adapting and changing. What's sort of like the next year look like, do you think, in agent marketing?
I think, with stock level being very low, I think it's going to be really important to get yourself out there and make sure that when you do get a property that you market the crap out of it and make sure everybody knows. It's not, obviously for getting the best result for the client, but then post that, having enough, having the impression that there's lots of that happening in your business is very important for agents, I think, because you might go through a period. I had, Nick Duchatel numbers, 26 listings in March, something like that, signed, and then COVID hit, and I went, oh shit, and then and I thought I was coming to the peak of my powers, and COVID hit, and I thought, I'm going to sell half of this, but I did sell it and I had a great run. Awesome. Now I'm a little tighter on stock, and I've got some decent properties, but not many of them. And stuff's coming, but it's really tight in our area. Like there's 6 properties on my.
So how do you show that activity?
Well, so you got to promote the ones that are on and they're going well, and make a big song and dance about it, and that's why I thought do a bit of a review. They'll go in the newsletter and just show all the properties we did sell. Yeah. And I think it depends if you're asking me how property marketing goes. I think virtual tours are less important than photos and video, interactive video, but those 3D tours and virtual tours and the grids coming up and they can see the whole house, I think you'll almost reduce the amount of interaction between agent and buyer, which doesn't really work in my opinion.
We don't do them. We made a conscious decision that it feels like a cold tech thing that breaks that connection between that.
Yeah, it breaks the connection for the agent. I don't think that's good for the agent. I think that might be good for the buyers because they can be a lot more efficient in culling properties. But again, you need to win them over on the emotional side and the emotional connection. It's hard to say. I'm hoping we just get through the year. I don't know where it's going. We just need to get it back to some normalcy. Obviously, people will be working from home, and I'm working from home right now, and things like that. So it's really hard to say. I wouldn't even say I have any idea of where it's going. I think we're on the same boat.
All right. Awesome. Well, yeah. Look, I think the biggest takeaway from it is for agents that are looking to build their brand, just sort of have a feel of what's congruent to them as people. Try and be authentic. Not really give a shit about feedback that's going to come from your peers, right? And try and have a think about the demographic and how you can best serve people.
Yep. Yeah, I would agree with that. As I said, I think one thing to take away, because I don't do many of these, but obviously when I say, you know, got to not take yourself seriously and you got to have fun with it, that doesn't mean you have to be a clown, you have to do funny stuff,
100%.
and it doesn't mean you have to do video where you're on the camera doing something really dramatic if you're not good at it. If you're not good at it, it's detrimental to you. People will be sending around going, this is
He's
doesn't
a clown,
look good or not. Yeah, but this is,
or,
look, you know, if it doesn't work, then it's actually detrimental. So you just got to find that. I think if you're a genuine person, I mean, again, I use Nick just because I know him.
Yeah.
Nick doesn't do anything fancy in his videos when he's on camera, but it's very down to earth. He opens with a really authentic opening line about the property, something else that's good about it, and then says, you know, go and have a look, and the property videos about the property. But Nick's thing is personable, good client rapport.
Totally.
He's not a clown. He's not funny. Oh, I shouldn't say he's not funny, but you know, he knows what I mean. Yeah. He wins clients over because he's a nice guy and people believe what he says.
Yeah. My favorite thing about his stuff is, just like that, someone's going to watch that video and then call them into his house. He's going to open the front door, and that's going to be the exact person.
That's the person that's going to come through the door. Is the same person that was in the video.
Yeah, super important. Cool. Thanks, James.
Cool. No worries.
We're done.
Yeah.
Stay classy.
Stay classy.
Thanks, Mark.